Good afternoon, guys. Welcome. Just going to wait until a few of us get in here before I start. You have to excuse me. As you can hear, I am a little hoarse. Hey! We've got the case of the plummeting lurgy, which is absolutely delightful. I can't tell you how delightful it is. But I am here, so I will be doing what I intended to do. Nothing's going to stop me. Hello, Julie. Hiya, Gingerlock's mum. How are you feeling, sweetheart? People be saying that's not Casbah. So let me get this screen share up. Screen. There we go. Just to get us warmed up before we begin. So I hope everybody's okay. I feel all right. I just sound squeaky. I'm a little tired, but I'm sorry. Obviously, I know you've been through the mill lately as well. But it's that time of year where you're going to get this. Hiya, Evie. Hey, getting married lady. Congratulations, Evie, on becoming engaged last night. Wonderful news. Everybody deserves a bit of happiness, especially you. Very pleased to hear that. That was lovely. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to just carry on with the story. There will be a series of those. This is not the only one. You may even get another one today. And then I'm going to hang around a little bit after I've presented the case to see if anybody has any questions. I'm not on camera because I'm not fit for human consumption. I'm not going to lie. I don't look too good. Some would argue that I never really do. But, you know, at least most of the time I look healthy. All right. So, you may have heard of Bruce Pardo, but not realised that you've heard of him. So he's a gentleman who dressed in a Santa Claus suit and killed a load of people, and in the Covina massacre in Florida, at approximately 11:30 p.m. On Christmas Eve, he was dressed in a Santa suit, Bruce Jeffrey Pardo, and he knocked on the door of his former in-laws' house, which at the time was occupied by about 25 people. He had a gift-wrapped package containing a homemade flamethrower on a trolley and 2 9mm semi-automatic handguns. He had 2 additional 9mm semi-automatic handguns in his possession as well. Hi, Solange. Moments after the door opened, Pardo pulled out the 2 handguns and immediately shot his 8-year-old niece, Katrina Polsky, in the face. But luckily, she made it. So that's a good thing. So there's Bruce there. And this is Katrina, who survived it, and she was the first one to be shot, and she was only a little girl at the time. She was only 8 at the time. She actually was running to greet him at the time when he shot her, which is just all kinds of delightful. And he fired then indiscriminately at fleeing partygoers. Police speculate that Pardo may have stood over and pointedly executed some of his victims using handguns. So after the shootings, Pardo unwrapped the package containing the homemade flamethrower, which he uses later, and used it to spray racing fuel or gasoline all over the home. So here we've got, this is the main victim. This is his ex-wife, and this is her parents, who both died in the massacre. This is Bruce's homemade device, flamethrower, that he used to cause the fire. I'm just going to wait for that to load now so you can hear the 911 call.
Yes, I'm on Northwest Avenue. I'm on the phone, guys. He's phone my little cousin right now. Okay, can you tell if there's anybody injured? Because we have fire department and officers en route. Hello. Hi. Tell me immediately. What is in your house? Ma'am, is the guy in your house right now? We're hiding 2 houses down. I'm a good guy. Okay. Ma'am, hold on. Is he at your house? Yes, he's across the street. What do you think his name is, Bruce? His name is Bruce Pardo. Okay, and who is he to you guys? Who is he to you? He's my ex-brother-in-law. They're going through this right now. Okay. Hold on 1 second, okay? I don't know who else is alive. I know, ma'am. Just stay on the phone with me, okay? My whole family, there's 30 people, 25 people. I know. It's okay. The officers are there. They're trying to get to you guys, okay? He came in through the entrance of the door, and there's a Santa Claus suit, and I didn't see them when he shot. I heard the shots, and they were like poppers, and I wasn't sure what it was, so everyone started panicking and running, so we all dove into the dining room. Some of us dove, some of us left. I don't know. My mom's house is on the way. Ma'am, the fire department's there, okay? What is he wearing? Please. What is he wearing? Please tell me. My nephew. What is he wearing now? He changed his clothes from Santa Claus clothes. Okay, let me know.
So he changed his clothes, and we've got some photographs here of the aftermath of the shooting, where you can see the property itself and the damage, the fact that it was a lovely little property with a beautiful little pool, the palm trees there, and you can see that it's a shadow of its former self after Bruce set fire to it with the flamethrower and the racing fuel. And there we also have a shot of Bruce's car, where you can see the Santa suit that he had on in the back of the car. So 9 people died from either gunfire or flames, and 3 others were wounded. The 8-year-old girl who was shot in the face, as we know, already survived. There was a 16-year-old girl shot and wounded in the back, a 20-year-old woman who suffered a broken ankle jumping out of a second-floor window to evade the fire. And there was one survivor who called the authorities, who was the lady you've just heard, after escaping to a neighbour's house. The resulting fire soared approximately 40 to 50 feet and took 80 firefighters an hour and a half to extinguish. Due to the intensity of the fire, identification of the victims was done with dental and medical records. So after the attack, Pardo changed into other clothes. So it looked very much like he had plans. He got into a Dodge Caliber rental car and drove to his brother's house about 30 miles away from the crime scene. Pardo had bought a ticket for a flight to Canada, where it was thought that he might have intended to flee. However, it has been suggested that that might have been a red herring to mislead police. His car had been rigged to explode if it was moved, and he had in his home what would be described as a bomb factory. I'll tell you in a moment, Ginger Locks, so I have to have a look at my notes. Hi, Julie T. So he'd got a ticket. They thought he was going to Canada. However, his plans were changed somewhat because the Father Christmas suit that he was wearing when he committed the crime melted into his legs, so he's quite seriously injured. So it wasn't something that he was able to overcome. So life on the run wasn't really something he'd be able to do. So what he did was he shot himself in the head. So that was his way of getting away from all that. Let's have a look. I can remember the date, but I can't remember the year. That's why I'm looking it up for you. Bear with us a second. 2008. I thought it was, but I didn't want to say it without checking. 2008 in Covina, Florida. So that was effectively it. Absolutely a coward, Julie. He walked in there and he wanted to punish his ex-wife and killed a whole lot of other people in the process. So let's not forget the victims. His ex-wife was Sylvia Ortega Pardo, and other victims lost that day: Alicia Sotomayor Ortega, Joseph S. Ortega, Charles Ortega, Sherry Lynn Ortega, James Ortega, Teresa Ortega, Alicia Ortega Ortiz, and Michael Andre Ortiz. So those were the other people lost. So just to summarize, for anybody who's just joined us, Bruce Pardo, obviously he had recently had some problems. He'd lost his job, he'd lost his marriage, but that does not justify his actions. He walked into a Christmas party and shot indiscriminately, killing, including his wife, his ex-wife. So nice cheery Christmas story for you. But I thought it's important at this time of year to remember that evil things do not stop happening just because there's a Christmas tree up. And a lot of people will find that Christmas is one of the worst times of year for them, that it's nearly impossible to get by. So always be kind to your fellow human beings. Hi, the Bryan clan. Has anybody got any other questions about the case or anything, or what's coming up, or just generally? Because that's why I decided to go live, because it gives you guys the opportunity to ask any questions afterwards, rather than getting an immediate answer, rather than having to wait for me to respond to a comment. Because I'm not going to lie, I'm not wonderful at that. I see them all, but I don't always get the chance to reply. It's early. How early is early, the Bryan clan? Did he have mental illness? Nothing written about it, Julie Johnson. Nothing written about it. He was quite calculated in his attack as well. There's not, say he had survived and he was caught, there wouldn't have been any room for an insanity plea because he planned it. 6:41, wow, it is early. That's like Mommy Rambling's early for me. Yeah. 7:40 in Colorado. There you go. Hi, Gypsy. It's 9:42 there. So it's just morning. So people will have a bit of morning coffee and murder from me today. I'm glad to hear it. I know that it's I've got all sorts planned over Christmas. I know that you'll be pleased to know that Lisa and I are getting together and we've got plans as well. So yeah, it's dark and miserable here as well, the Bryan clan. We're hopefully going to get some snow next week. I say hopefully because it just makes the place look clean and bright and Christmassy, doesn't it? Murder and muffins, that's right, Gingerlock's mom. That's right. So are there any other questions? I hope everybody's doing well. I'm really grateful that you've called in to see me this morning. And if you've just come in, I was going to say, if you come in at the end, please do watch the replay. What I'm trying to do is keep them short so that people can watch the case and catch the after chat in like under 20 minutes. Because if you're anything like me, it's difficult to watch a longer live. I do it, but I find that I can only do it for one or two people. And it's a shame because there's more that I'd like to shove my nose into. I am a bit chesty, Solange. I'm not very well, but not in a serious fashion, just the usual seasonal yak. And I think I stayed up late chatting last night and I don't regret it for a second, despite how I sound. Oh, wow. Are you going to do some vlogging at that, Gingerlock's mom? At the Christmas Bazaar? I would love to see some of that if you can. I understand if you don't need to or want to, but it would be lovely because me and Lisa did a Christmas market, so All right, love you too. Love you very much. Everybody, take care of yourselves. Love and light to you all. Oh, yay, tree time. Love it. I will be putting up my tree next week, and I'll probably vlog that so you can see it. I don't make much of a fuss. There's only a little few decorations, but it does make everything festive. Can't even get the word out because I've got no lung capacity. Right, okay, guys. Take care of yourselves. Hopefully, I'll see you later today. I may be putting out another one. Take care of yourselves. Be good, and most of all, be happy. And jingle bells to you all. Bye-bye.